Good morning, one and everyone present here. On behalf of KG College of Engineering and Management Research, I, Dr. Prajakta Deshmukh, FE Coordinator, welcome all engineering aspirants in a webinar on engineering admission process and opportunities in engineering. About college, KJ's Educational Institute was established in the year 2005 and has excellent infrastructure spread over 110 acres of green campus in the backdrop of Sayandri Hills. And in the year 2009, KJ College of Engineering and Management Research was established, and college is affiliated to Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune. The ideal engineer is a composite. Composite means mixture of 3-4 things or more. Nathan Doherty said, the ideal engineer is a composite. He is not a scientist, he is not a mathematician, he is not a psychologist or a writer. But he may use the knowledge and techniques of any or all of this discipline in solving engineering problems. So bottom line is that engineers are problem solvers. Today, it is my great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Suhas Koth. Principal of Dr. Suhas Koth obtained his degree in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering from Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli. Master degree also in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering from Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Aurangabad. PhD from College of Engineering, Pune, SUAP. He has 25 years of teaching experience in reputed premier institution. He has published several technical papers in national and international journals and conferences. Counselor and
Good morning to one and all. I am Dr. Suhas Koth, Principal, KJ College of Engineering and Management Research. I welcome all the students who are aspiring to get admission to engineering this year, 21-22. I also congratulate all the students, those who have passed with flying colors in 12th standard as well as in MHT CET 21. I also congratulate all the proud parents who have supported their children as well as kids in getting such a fabulous and nice results in 12th standard as well as MHT CET 21. Some of you must have appeared in JEE also. You must have scored nice in JEE as well. Both scores are very, very important. Now coming back to our basic topic, that is engineering admission process and opportunities in engineering. Just I want to highlight and divide this topic into 2-3 separate divisions. The first important thing is why engineering. That is the first thing. Many of you are now on the verge of your career or the path changer, you can say a step change at the time of this 12th examination. And unfortunately, for last 1.5 years, COVID-19 has spread and has created really a havoc in this country as well as in the world. And I'm sure that definitely this has hampered the education of 11th and 12th standard of you students. Most of you must have not visited even college for last 1.5 years or 2 years. Definitely this is going to impact for next coming years for Indian economy as well as the engineering in India. But specifically, we have to try our level best to stand in the market as an engineer, as a good engineer specifically, so that we can have a very good employment, or if you want to do an entrepreneurship, you can go for that also. Engineering is a basic branch where 90% of the things in this world are being manufactured, sold, and made. Because everything that we think, everything that we cater has or involves some type of engineering mechanism in it. Basically, in 12th standard, what we do is that we have specific branches that we are known. Means either an engineering or medical or say pharmacy or say architecture and so on. And majority of the students, they don't know what has to be done, whether to go for engineering, whether to choose a medical science, whether to go for something which is different, whether to go for some branch which is not at all recognized. And this has a greater impact over two things. Number one, where my friend is going, माझा मित्र ज्या ठिकाणी चाललाय त्या ठिकाणी मी जाणार. I will prefer that particular branch. That is the first thing. And second thing is the impact which is created by the parents. लहानपणापासून मला घरी सांगण्यात आलंय की तुला इंजिनियर व्हायचंय, तुला डॉक्टरच व्हायचंय, तुला आर्किटेक्ट व्हायचंय. So that impact creates a very large thing on the minds of the young children. And then we try to cope up with those things. But remember, my dear friends, the thing which is being done in a very, very devotionally or in a very, very intensively matter, that always goes with 100% successful career. Means unless and until you study the thing, unless and until you understand the thing, you will never get success. And in engineering is the same kind of branch. In engineering, you can develop the things, you can develop your logic, you can develop your things, and you can develop whatever is in your mind using majority of the ideas and logics. Many of the girl students, they may think that we have only limited scope, we can go only for computer engineering, we can go only for electronics engineering. It is not the case, remember. You go for civil engineering, you can go for mechanical engineering, you can go for instrumentation engineering, you have a scope in electrical engineering. So many branches are there. But specifically, the scope of such branches is eventually catered in very, very different things. How? Let us analyze that. Now, scope, if you see nowadays in this particular year, everybody is going for computer engineering. Everybody wants computer branch. Everybody wants IT branch. Everybody wants to do career in computer branch only. Why? What is the reason? The reason is very, very simple. See, this is just like a sine wave. This is just like a thing which appears after every 4 to 5 years. If you see the era of 2016 and 2015, at that time, everybody was more and more competitive to have mechanical branch only. What was the result? The result was when the students were admitted in 2016 and when the students were passed out in 2020 or 21, it was found that large number of mechanical students or mechanical engineers are available in the market, whereas the scope for this mechanical engineers was very less. Means what? Supply and demand ratio was not at all matching. The demand was less, the supply was more. Now, which engineers will be employed? Which engineers will be treated as entrepreneurs? Which engineers will be getting very good jobs in multinational or very good companies? Only those who will have very good and nice merit. Merit always counts. And others will remain unemployed. Means what? If you listen what others are doing, if you do what others are doing, then definitely it may not suit to your career. If my friend is taking computer branch, that's why I'm going for computer branch. I'm not having any interest in computer branch. I don't know logic. I don't know how to program. I'm least interested in learning the languages. I'm least interested in learning the DBMS. Then definitely it will not give you much success in your particular career. So my friends, I always advise you to choose a proper branch. See what is the scope of every branch. See, there is no scope as such for specific branch. Many a times parents and students, they call us and they ask us, कोणत्या ब्रांचला स्कोप आहे, कुठली ब्रांच चांगली आहे, कुठल्या ब्रांचला सध्या स्कोप आहे. Every branch has its scope. If you choose a chemical engineering branch, it has a scope. If you choose an instrumentation, it has a scope. If you choose a civil engineering, it has a scope. It depends on what interest you have, what interest you create in your particular branch, and that will give you a success. So my dear friends, I advise you to choose a proper branch in your career so that it will lead to a very good success. For example, if you are interested, if in 11th and 12th, if you are having some, say, computer background or electronics background, definitely you can go for that branches. If you are interested in having some C programming or some type of logic, then definitely you can go for IT branch or computer branch. If you are interested in building some electronic small circuits, some small hobby circuits, and if you are interested in having to study such electronic circuits, definitely you can go for electronics and telecommunication branch. Electronics and telecommunication branch has a dual advantage. You can go in IT sector because 60% of the subjects, if you see, 60% of the subjects in electronics and telecommunication are related or similar to computer branch. So definitely you can have a very good scope in electronics and telecommunication branch, whether you can go in IT or you can go in electronics subjects or electronics as well. In electronics, telecommunication, wherever you want, you can have a wide scope in that particular branch. Because in electronics, you study C, you study C++, you study Python, you study DBMS, you study telecom engineering, you study mobile engineering. So everything which is related in computer engineering, 60% is studied in that particular branch. Similarly, civil and mechanical are somewhere related. Some concepts in civil are treated in mechanical. Some concepts in mechanical are also studied in civil. So if you are interested in having a good job in a manufacturing industry or in a very big industry, mechanical industry or automobile industry, then definitely you can go for mechanical branch. Mechanical branch also has a very wide and good scope. And remember, you should not stop here after doing your bachelor's. You can go also for your master's. Master's is also very, very important. Master's carries a very good scope in India as well as abroad. And specifically, if you see, I'm talking about Savitribai Phule Pune University. It is over the globe. It is one of the recognized university in India as well as in the world. And definitely you will get a very, very good scope whenever you study in Savitribai Phule Pune University affiliated colleges. Now, specifically, when you go for such engineering, what is the procedure of this engineering admissions? Now, you might be knowing that this engineering admission process has already been started. And majority of you must have filled the registration form. On 2nd of November, a notification was given by State CET Cell as well as Directorate of Technical Education, DT Maharashtra Mumbai, which is the governing authority of admissions for all engineering as well as pharmacy, as well as postgraduate, that is ME, then MBA, HMCT, architecture, etc. All professional courses, MBA, MCA, all professional courses are being governed by DTE, that is Directorate of Technical Education, Maharashtra State. And second thing is that this notification is being already drawn on 2nd of November, and you have to register on that particular portal from 2nd to 18th, and now the date has been extended till 21st. So yesterday was the last date, right? So very first thing is that unless and until you online register on this portal, you will not be eligible to take part in this central admission process. This is the centralized admission process. What is this centralized admission process? Centralized admission process means all the engineering aspirants are being called from all over the Maharashtra, and a merit list has been put, right? So all the applications are invited, and merit list is being put depending on the merit number, depending on the CET score, the merit list is prepared, and then the choices are being asked from you, and accordingly the seats are allotted. This is a very, very simple process. In a very simple language, I can tell, right? So this is nothing but the centralized admission process, which is also called as CAP, centralized admission process. And this is governed by Government of Maharashtra, State CET Cell, and Directorate of Technical Education. No college, whether it is a government college, government aided college, or private engineering college, has authority to govern this admission process. This process is completely governed by Government of Maharashtra. Now, second thing, what is the eligibility criteria? What you have to do if you want to take part in this centralized admission process? First thing, that is you have to register. Second thing is how the admission is given. Now the admission is given admission is given on the basis of your MHT CET score. Now who is eligible? Eligibility is your 12th standard. In 12th standard, you should pass the 12th standard examination with physics and mathematics as compulsory subjects. And third subject, instead of chemistry, you can have chemistry or biology or biotechnology, or you can have the technical vocational subjects like computer or electronics or instrumentation, whatever it is, right? Entrepreneurship, so many subjects are there. So technical vocational subjects you can take, and you should have aggregate of 45% of the total marks for eligibility for open category and 40% of the total marks for reserve category. So this is the eligibility criteria. And second thing is how the admission is given. Admission is given on the basis of MHT CET score. Which MHT CET? MHT CET 21. Because if you have appeared for MHT CET 20, then that score is not valid. MHT CET 21 score is valid for this examination. Now, how many colleges are there in Maharashtra where you will get the admission? See, there are total 349 colleges in Maharashtra. 349 colleges in Maharashtra which offers this degree program, that is BE program. 349 colleges. Out of these colleges, 20 colleges are government colleges, 26 colleges are autonomous colleges. Autonomy is given by UGC to these colleges, 26 colleges. Then approximately 4 colleges are government aided colleges, and remaining 320 colleges are private unaided colleges, unaided private colleges. Now, if you see the inter-C merit of these colleges, then definitely after IIT, NIT and IIIT, government colleges are having much more merit than other private unaided colleges. Now, how this particular seats are being distributed in this particular government colleges? See, specifically in government colleges, what we see is that no institutional quota is present and 100% seats are available only for Maharashtra state candidates in government colleges, right? Then in other colleges, that is private unaided colleges, 65% seats are available for Maharashtra state candidates. In that 65%, 70% for home university and 30% for other than home university. Home university means what? Where you have studied your 12th, the jurisdiction of your university is your home university. Means if you have studied in Pune, then Pune University is your home university. If you want to apply in Pune, any college, then this will be your home university. If you have studied in Pune and if you want to apply at say Kolhapur, then in that particular university, you will be out of the home university. You will be in 30%. Here you will be in 70%, likewise, right? And in private unaided college, 65% of the seats are available for MHT CET candidates, Maharashtra state candidates. 15% seats are available for JEE candidates, that is all over India merit candidates, and 20% seats are available as institutional quota, or it is also called as institute level admission. Now this institute level admission, to get this institute level admission, whether it is required to apply for this centralized admission process, the answer is yes. For any type of admission, you have to register for the TTE or you have to register for the centralized admission process to get admission in any college in under any quota, that is under private unaided, that is Maharashtra state candidate quota, or under JEE quota, or under institute level quota, right? So this is the thing. Then what is done in this, reservation is always there for all the candidates. Now what type of reservation is there? See, out of 100%, 50% seats are always reserved for the backward candidates. 50% seats are open and 50% seats are reserved. Out of this reservation, the reservation is fixed. That is for SC, ST, NT, that is NT1, NT2, NT3, SBC, right? The reservation is fixed, and OBC. For SC, the reservation is 13%. For ST, the reservation is 7%. Then for NT, it is 2.5%. NT1, NT2, NT3, it is 2, 2.5, and 3.5%. And for OBC, it is 19%. 19% reservation is for OBC. And right now, from 2019, EWS, economically weaker section, these candidates are imposed over and above the sanction intake. And one more reservation is there, which is called as TFWS, that is tuition fee waiver scheme. Now this tuition fee waiver scheme and EWS, that is economically weaker section, these are the total candidates which are given by the admission authority over and above the sanction intake. What is this over and above? Suppose for computer engineering, my intake is 60 seats. Then TFW seats are 5% over and above. Means what? 3 seats are given more than 60. EWS seats are 6 seats which are given more than 60. So I'll have 60 plus 3 plus 6, that is 69 seats total, right? Now these seats or this reservation is as per again the score which is scored in MHT CET 21. So the deciding factor to get admission in any college is the MHT CET 21 score, and the eligibility is your PCM marks. Now, whenever we see such kind of special category seats, that is TFWS and EWS, then majority of the students, they feel that this type of seats can be easily grabbed. It is not like that, remember. TFWS is tuition fee waiver scheme, which does not involve any category. It involves only merit. and it also has some income slab, right? So only the meritorious students who doesn't have any category and who has highest merit will grab that particular seat for that particular branch. That is tuition fee waiver scheme. And what happens in that? Entire tuition fee is waived. Means, for example, suppose my college, the fees is 80,000 is my fees, out of which my tuition fee is say 72,000 and my development fees is 8,000. Then 72,000 tuition fee is waived for these TFWS candidates, and he or she has to pay only 8,000, which is nothing but the development fees. Second is EWS, economically weaker section. Economically weaker section, they have to get a certificate that is Proforma V, which is given in the, you can see the brochure of DT. Proforma V is given in that. You have to get that particular certificate as per the government resolution GR, that is 2000. In 2019 they have drawn the GR, and EWS certificate has to be sought, and for that 50% tuition fees you can get as a scholarship if you are admitted through EWS. But this particular merit is also equivalent to the open merit, remember, right? Now, second important thing here, whenever you go for this particular admission process, is fees. Now, how these fees are being charged? Remember, fees are not decided by any institute. Fees are being decided by a government regulating authority. This authority is being constituted by Government of Maharashtra, and a retired district judge is the chairman of this particular committee, and this committee is called as FRA, which is Fee Regulating Authority. And every year, every college has to submit its balance sheet according to the total expenditure and total income made by the college to Fee Regulating Authority. The proposal has to be sent, and the proposal is checked by Fee Regulating Authority. It checks how many staff you have. It checks whether you pay salary to the staff. It checks whether you give total infrastructure facilities to the students or not. They also check what expenditure you do in the total academic year, and everything has been checked, and then your fees are being decided. So once the fees are being decided, the fees are put on FRA website, that is Fee Regulating Authority website. And on Fee Regulating Authority website, you can check the fees of every college in Maharashtra. And no college has right to charge more fees than this Fee Regulating Authority fees. Means, for example, suppose the fees of my college is 75,000, then I should charge only 75,000. Other than say uniform or stationery, that is different. 3,000-4,000 you can charge, right? But the fees cannot be more than 75,000 as tuition fee and your development fees. So these fees are to be checked by every parent, by every student on FRA portal. Now, next important thing is the procedure. What procedure is being adopted while you go for this CAP admission? Remember.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir, but I want to tell you something.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Sir, hello. Am I audible,
Yes.
sir?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Sir, too much. I'm just getting bored, so I'm going to leave this meeting. Tata, bye bye. Take you guys and give your best.
Hello. Hello. Yes. Madam. Bogiri sir, who was speaking?
Yes, sir.
Who was
Actually, sir,
speaking?
yeah.
Huh?
Who's this?
Actually,
Yes.
ma'am, she was gone because she want to disturb you, and she just want to told you
Disturb.
she is leaving the meeting.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay.
See, if anybody want to leave, you can leave. There is no compulsion as such. This is for the students, those who really want to get admission in engineering colleges. We are doing this webinar for the welfare of students. This is a social type of program. So if you want to leave, you can leave immediately, but don't disturb others. Okay. Okay. So now the procedure, how this procedure is carried out. Up till now, you must have applied for the, or you must have registered on the site. Your name and everything, the details are being registered, and you must have checked all the documents also, right? Now what will happen? The next procedure, a merit list will be prepared where your name will appear in that particular merit list. Say suppose 1,25,000 students have applied. So a merit list of 1,25,000 students will be prepared, and a list will be definitely put on the website of that particular DTE or say state CT cell, right? You will see that. Okay. Now once the merit list is put, then you can definitely see what is your merit number. You can see your merit number, and your merit number will definitely affect your merit. Why? Because the total number of seats which are available, and the total number of colleges which are available, and where you appear, what is your merit number, that is very, very important. So you have to check what is your merit number. You have to check which colleges you can get. You can check where which seats are available and which seats are important, that you can check, and definitely you can see where you appear. Now the most important thing, next thing, is that you can definitely see what was the cutoff of various colleges in last year. How you can see it? It is available on DTE site. Cutoff for 2021, cutoff for 1920, cutoff for 1819. All these cutoffs are available in on DTE site, right? So on DTE site, you can check the cutoff, and you can see where what are your marks, and for which, how many marks you will get your total, which seat is available. Now majority of the times what happens, the cutoff is different for specific branches, the cutoff is different for specific colleges, the cutoffs are different for specific rounds as well. How many rounds will be there? There will be total 2 rounds, right? 2 rounds, and you will see that in first round, what will happen? In first round, you will be allotted some seat. If you options, of course, you have to give option form, you have to fill. After the merit list, you have to fill the option form. In the option form, you have to fill the colleges, you have to fill the branches. 1 to 300 options you can fill, and definitely you can opt for various branches for various colleges, right? And then what you can do is that you can submit that option form. Now while having this option form, what you can do is that you can go and see the cutoff for various branches and for various colleges, which was for the last year. And what you can do, you can go choose your branch and college accordingly. So once you fill the option form, and you submit the option form, then definitely what you can do is that you can submit that option form and wait for your result. After the allotment of first, what you will see? You will see that some branch is allotted to you. Some branch will be allotted to you in round 1. What you can see? You can see that a branch will be allotted to you if your options are correct. If your options are not correct, then the branch will not be allotted to you, right? So the option form filling is very, very important in this particular thing. And see, the software is accordingly done so that your options will decide which merit and which college and which branch you are going to get, right? So that is very, very important. So in round 1, if you get a seat and if you feel if you are satisfied with that particular seat, then what you can do, definitely you can go for that particular college. You can go to that college, you can confirm your admission, and definitely you can get admission to that particular branch, right? Suppose if you are not satisfied with that particular branch, then you can keep that seat on hold, right? And you can go for next round, right? So for next round, again you have to choose the options. Again you have to go for various branches, and again you have to choose your own options. And in second branch, again, second round, again you will get different options. Again you will have different branches. Again you will have different colleges, and again you have to apply. Now in this second round, remember the seats which are already freezed, the seats which are already blocked by the students, those seats will not be available for round 2. So round 2, definitely the merit will be more and more merit will be for round 2. Again for round 2, you can go for the same. And suppose if you are not satisfied with round 2, and if you want to freeze the seat which is blocked in round 1, definitely you can go for that, right? So in this way, you can have 2 options for choosing your college as well as your branch, and definitely you can get a good college. In the third round, what happens? All the seats which are allotted to various students will be blocked, and the admissions will be sought by all the students in respective colleges. Still, suppose the seats are remaining, or still the seats are vacant, then definitely these seats are filled by the institute level, which is defined as the seats remaining after cap round. And after cap round, whatever seats are remaining are being decided by the institute. Means the institute can call the application for vacant seats, and they can put the merit, and according to the inter-C merit, they have to distribute the remaining seats. For government colleges, specific round is conducted at either at Mumbai Sardar Patel College or at Aurangabad for government colleges, and the seats remaining vacant after cap rounds are being filled. Now specifically, whenever we see that such kind of admissions are being done in various colleges, we can see how the scholarship, freeship, and other benefits are achieved or get by the students. Now there are so many benefits which can be achieved by the students. There are so many other provisions which are made by the government of Maharashtra for the students. Which are those benefits? Just I'll go through these benefits. See, the very first benefit, there are basically 2 benefits. First is by Social Welfare Department. And what this Social Welfare Department does, this Social Welfare Department gives benefit to category students. That is for SC, ST, SBC, NT, and OBC students. What they do, they give scholarship as well as freeship. And what is the criteria? Criteria is for the income criteria is there. The income should be less than 2.5 lakhs or the income should be less than 1 lakh. And what is the benefit or waiver which is given to the student? The benefit or waiver which is given to the student is that for SC, ST, SBC, and NT category students, you will get 100% waiver in tuition fees. So you should not have to pay any tuition fee if you belong to SC, ST, SBC, and NT category. What are the documents which are required for that? You have to, on the first important thing is the admission should be through cap only. Means it should not be under vacant seats remaining after the cap. It should be cap admission only. That is centralized admission process only. Then second, he should be a domicile of Maharashtra. Then third, he should have a caste certificate. Fourth, he or she should have a caste validity certificate. Then income certificate. Then mark sheet of SSC and HSC, living certificate, Aadhaar card, and bank account. So if you have all the specific documents, if you see, then he should be admitted through central admission process. He should have a caste certificate and he should have a caste validity certificate. These 3 certificates are important. And if you belong to SC, ST, SBC, or NT, then you will get 100% tuition fee waiver. Also, you will get the exam fee in free ship. That is for SC/ST candidate, you will get 1360 rupees as exam fee. You will get maintenance allowance approximately 3000 rupees. Also, you will get the exam fee of 1360 rupees for SBC and NT candidates. And specifically for OBC candidates, if you see, for OBC candidates, you will get the tuition fee, 50% waiver in tuition fee. You will get for OBC candidates. So OBC candidates will get 50% waiver in tuition fee, and free ship you will get 680 rupees as examination fee. So this was the scholarship from Social Welfare Department. Now Government of Maharashtra, that is, has a Directorate of Technical Education, that is DT. DT also declares some scholarship. And this scholarship, what is for open candidates? For open candidates, they have Rajarshi Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj Fee Reimbursement Scheme. This is nothing but the EBC, that is economically backward class, and you should have the income slab of less than 8 lakh rupees. If you have an income of less than 8 lakh rupees, then you will get 50% waiver in tuition fees. You will get 50% waiver in tuition fees if you have income less than 8 lakh rupees, right? So this is the first scheme for open students, that is Rajarshi Chhatrapati Shahu Maharaj Fee Reimbursement Scheme, that is EBC scheme for open candidates. Then second scheme, which is from DTE, is for open candidates, those who are in minority. Which candidates? The candidates belonging to Muslim, Sikh, Buddhist, Christian, Parsi and Jain. For all these 6 different castes which belong to minority, they should have an annual income of less than 8 lakh rupees. They will get a scholarship of 25,000 rupees from state. And if they have income less than 2.5 lakh rupees, then they will have a scholarship of 25,000 from Government of India Minority Scholarship. So this is the scholarship for open student and minority student. And last, that is TFWS, which I have told, that is Tuition Fee Waiver Scheme. Tuition Fee Waiver Scheme is open for all, irrespective of caste, creed and religion, right? And income slab. Income slab is there, 8 lakh. And if you have a higher merit, highest merit, then you will get all 100% tuition fee waiver. Again, the documents which are needed are, first thing is the admission should be through centralized admission process. Second, you should be a domicile of Maharashtra. You should have mark sheet of SSC, HSC, income certificate less than 8 lakh should be there. Yes, if you belong to open and if you have an income less than 8 lakh, then definitely you will have EBC scholarship. If you not belong to open, if you belong to any other caste, if you belong to SC, ST, NT or say SBC, then you will get 100% your tuition fee waiving. If you belong to OBC, you will get 50% fee waiving. If you are open and in minority, you will get 25,000 scholarship. If you don't belong to any category, if you belong only to open and you have a very high merit, then you will be under the category of TFWS, where tuition fee waiver scheme and entire tuition fee will be waived. Now, as far as these fees are concerned, Government of Maharashtra is enough to give scholarship for the students for their residence as well. That is DT as well as social welfare. What DT does? DT gives scholarship for residence, that is to live, right? That is Dr. Panjabrao Deshmukh hostel maintenance allowance. Dr. Punjab Rao Deshmukh hostel maintenance allowance, and this also has income slab. The income should be less than 8 lakh rupees, right? And hostel maintenance allowance given is 30,000 rupees, 30,000 rupees per year. What they want? They want a Alpa Bhudarak or registered labor certificate. That is the requirement for this particular hostel maintenance allowance. And hostel maintenance allowance for 10,000 is given for the parents who has income less than 1 lakh rupees. But Alpa Bhudarak or registered labor certificate is required for this particular type of hostel allowance. And for social welfare department, from social welfare department, SC candidates, specifically SC candidates, they get a special type of scholarship, which is Bharat Ratna Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Swadhar Yojana, that is hostel allowance. And if your income is less than 2.5 lakhs, then you will get food allowance, accommodation allowance, subsistence allowance, that is Nirvah Bhatta, that is 32,000 plus 20,000 plus 8,000. So you'll get total 60,000 rupees. So this is nothing but the total allowance or total hostel allowance or hostel scheme which you can avail if you belong to SC candidate and if you want to register under Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Swadhar Yojana. For VJNT candidate and SBC candidates also, they have hostel allowance. If you have income less than 1 lakh, then you get a hostel allowance of 7,000. And there also you should have the caste certificate, caste validity certificate, all other certificates are necessary. So these are some of the, what you can say, hostel maintenance allowance which are given by the government of Maharashtra. So in this way, what you can see here is that you can see that majority of the students, they will get benefit in either in fees, they will get the benefit either in hostel allowance, or they will get the benefit in majority of the things. If you belong to open, if your income is less, you will get EBC scheme. If you belong to category, if you belong to SC, ST, NT or SBC, then you will get definitely the tuition fee waiver. If you belong to OBC, then you will get 50%. And other than OBC, you will get, if you belong to EWS, economically weaker section, if you have that certificate, you will get again 50% waiver in fees. Apart from that, you get hostel allowance also. So if you are Alpa Bhudarak, if you have that labor certificate, then definitely you can get 30,000 rupees hostel allowance per year. Specifically for SC candidates, under Swadhar Yojana, you can get 60,000 rupees, up to 60,000 rupees per year. So these are some of the schemes which are being initiated by government of Maharashtra so that the higher education, engineering education is promoted by government. So majority of the students and parents, they always think that if I want to take admission to engineering, then it is very costly, how I should pay the fees, what I should do. So various schemes are available. If you definitely want to take advantage of these schemes, then you have to produce all the necessary certificates. You have to discuss with all the college authorities. You have to discuss with all the government authorities. You have to keep an eye on all the admission proceedings, and definitely you will be benefited for this. So in this particular webinar, I think everything is being cleared now. How the admission process, why engineering, how many colleges are there, how the engineering seats are admitted, what is the merit. Only I have not discussed anything about the merit, because now the merit is being decided entire by the CET score, MST CET score. And MST CET score is in percentile, remember, it is not in percentage, it is percentile. So the students having score, say 99 percentile, they think that I can get any college, I have 99 percentile score. It is not like that, remember. If your score is 99 and say the total number of seats or total number of students those who have appeared for this engineering CET or applied for CET, say 1,90,000 students have applied, right? So if your score is 99 percentile, then 100 minus 99, that is 1 into 1,90,000 divided by 100. So 1920. 1920 is your merit number. So you have 1900 students above you if your percentile is 99%. And in first 1000 or 1100 seats only, all the government seats are been allotted. So there are less chances that you will get a government seat even if your score is 99 percentile. So don't think in the range of percentage. This is percentile, remember. So your merit number will decide your score. Your merit number will decide your college, and everything is dependent on the option. The option form that you give, that is very, very important. So always give higher options. Means even if your score is less, you give the option of the best college, best college, best college, best college likewise, so that you can get a better college in future. Okay. For any queries, you can go to our website. Our website is very much live and dynamic. It is www.kjei.edu.in/KJCOEMR. That is our website. Or simply if you type KJEI in Google, you will get the first website of our college only. You can see KJ College of Engineering and Management Research. I am principal of that college, and if you need any help, definitely you can ask on the website also. You can mail me also. My mail ID is principalkjcoemr@gmail.com. You can ask any questions, any queries if you have right now. Yes, any queries? Bogiri sir, any queries are there?
Sir, hostel facilities.
Yes.
सर हॉस्टेल फी किती आहे?
Hostel facility is there in our campus. We have a eight-storied hostel which comprises of more than 800 students for boys as well as girls. And hostel facilities there, we have 110 acres of campus having 11 colleges, 3 engineering colleges at one place. Yes.
Sir, one more
सर
question.
हॉस्टेल फी कितनी
So
आहे?
can we twice things
Yes.
that hostel fees as well as scholarship?
See, our college fees is 75,000 and our hostel fees is 50,000 per year.
Sir, one more
Our college
question.
fees is the least amongst the surrounded college. We have engineering toppers for last 3 to 5 years. Our students, they have placed rank 1 in SPPU, that is Pune University. We have tied up with so many engineering colleges, industries. We are the mentee institute. Our mentor is COEP. COEP is our mentor. We are mentee institute under COEP. Various virtual labs and other things we are sharing with COEP.
One question from student, sir. Is this scholarship and fee waiver are applicable for OMS student?
No, this fee waiver and all these facilities are only for Maharashtra candidate students. The students, those who are born in Maharashtra, or the students, those parents are residing for more than 15 years in Maharashtra, those who are domiciled in Maharashtra, the scholarship scheme is available only for those students. For other than Maharashtra students, they are always treated as open candidates and they have to pay full fees.
Okay,
Any
sir.
other question? No questions? Okay. Still, if you have any question, Bogiri sir, please give my email ID in the chat box. That is principal KJCOEMR. If you want, I can type. It is principal KJCOEMR @gmail.com. Okay. So you can contact anytime. And if you need anything, any help, definitely you can see our website also, kjei.edu.in/kjcomr. This is our website. So this also you can visit. You can see all our activities. If you want, you can visit our college. You can contact our professors. You can contact our departments. And definitely, if you feel like, you can definitely get admitted yourself. We have computer branch of 120 intake. So more chances are there that you may get computer branch. We have electrical branch, ENTC branch, civil branch of 120 intake. We have mechanical branch of 90 intake. We have PG as well. Okay. So for any queries, definitely academic will start from 7th of December. As per the calendar which is given by DTE, the academics will start from 7th of December for first year, provided there will not be any delay in this particular admission process. Because up till now the registration date was 18th, it was extended till 21st, so 3 days. So now the admission process will be delayed by 3 days. So now the date will be 10th of December. The academic starting date will be 10th of December or ahead, right? Once first and second round is being conducted and students are admitted, academics will be definitely started. And this will be informed by the college where you will be getting admitted. When you will go for the college to take admission, at that time you will be informed. How many seats available in CSE for DSE students? How many seats are available in CSE for DSE? See, for DSE students, the seats are very, very less, because direct second year admission, you mean to say direct second year admission for diploma students, those who have completed diploma and want to take admission for direct second year. See, the seats are very less. The lateral entry is there. Only 12 seats are available. For our college, we have approximately 22 seats. Still you can apply, but the merit is very, very high, and there is no institute level admission. The admission is done directly by the government or competent authority. Whether it is compulsory to come to college in between 3 to 6 December for physical, yes, it is compulsory to come to college between 3 to 6 December for physical, because unless and until you physically report to the respective institute after first and second round to confirm the admission, your admission will not be confirmed. And if you fail to confirm in the first round, it is treated that the seat is vacant and you don't have any claim on that seat for that particular round. In second round, again you have to submit the fresh options, and again you will be getting a seat according to the merit.
Sir, which company visits college?
See, there are many companies where we provide internship. The first college is COEP. Majority of our students, they go for COEP for projects as well as for internship of 1 month or so. Second, we have tied up with very multinational companies in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, civil engineering, as well as computer engineering. And we provide internship of 15 days to 21 days for the students in third year. Also, after internship, we provide a training of aptitude, skill development, and technical training of approximately 120 hours to the students of third year, so that they are placed in various industries, multinational companies, and if they are not placed, they are ready to place.
Okay, thank you,
Now
sir.
also, we have started our BE. We have completed 2 months. We have almost 110 students placed in Infosys, in TCS, in Atos Global. So many companies are there. Multinational companies are there. In Byju's, having package of more than 10 lakh rupees. So it depends on how you respond to your branch, how you respond to your training, how you respond to your internship. A major question I have that I have not opted CS in my 12th, but I want CS branch. So what are the difficulties I'll face? See, just now what I have told. If you don't have computer science in 11th and 12th, and if you want to go, whether I can go or not, that is your question, right? Yes, you can definitely go. It only wants some kind of intense thing in your heart. That is important. You should study by heart. Definitely you can do it. See, so many students are doing, 120 students, 150 students of my class, they are doing computer science with no knowledge. And why can't you do? You can do. You can start with a scratch. You can learn how to have a logic, how to learn a language, and accordingly you can do. Create the interest. The interest can definitely be developed. And I have seen many students having very, very less marks in 12th standard, not knowing anything about computers, and placed in a very multinational company at B with package of more than 8 to 10 lakh rupees. That I have seen. We have witnessed. So don't be under the impression that I was not having computer science in 11th and 12th and how I can cope up with the computer science. You can definitely do. Any other? Internship in college, some was asking. See, recently we have started incubation, innovation and research center at our institute. And what is the real important thing about this institute is that we are undertaking the projects from the students which are at BE level. Because the startup idea or any new idea can come into mind of students, and that particular idea is inculcated in this particular center. That is, it's an incubation center. So definitely you can have some idea on that particular project. You can think on that project, and we can sponsor also this project. Many of the students right now, currently we have 4 to 5 projects on which we are working at our institute, and definitely we know that some of those projects will have some patent, some will have some papers in national, international conference and journals, and some will definitely work as a commercial project which can be introduced in the market. How many seats are available for CS? For CS, we have 120 seats. 120 seats for CS, computer science, and 3 seats, that is 6 seats for PFWS, and 24 seats for EWS. Sorry, 12 seats for EWS. For electronics and telecommunication, we have 30 seats, and majority of the seats are being filled right now because it has a wide scope in IT as well as in telecommunication. So you can, as I have already told, you can definitely go for such kind of branch. Yes, any other question? What are the places we can visit near KJ? See, this college is situated in Pune. The area is Kondwa, and it is near Katras, Pune. And the area, as far as industry is concerned, we have Jejuri, MIDC. Near Katras, we have some industrial hub. Then in Pune, near Sahkar Nagar, we have industrial estate. In Pirangut, we have industrial estate. So many industrial estates are there, and definitely we can visit. How many students placed in this year? See, you will have a separate now session on training and placement. As far as number is concerned, we have crossed 120 students right now which are being placed, which are studying in B right now. They have not completed B, they are in B right now. And these students, for 300 students, we have given a training, aptitude training is given, means skill development, aptitude and technical training in Python and other things that we have given to the students. Gensar is also given training under the ESD program. They are giving the training. Barclay is also providing the training. So many training programs are being done, and current B students, 120 students are being already placed with highest package of 10 lakh rupees. What is the percentage of students got placed from campus? It is almost 80% last year, 80 to 85%.
Sir, and how's your teaching faculty?
See, almost all teaching faculty are very much qualified and experienced. We have electronics and telecommunication, we have civil engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and computer engineering. For computer engineering, I am proud to say that majority of our faculty are working from last 10 to 11 years. So the staff retention ratio is very good. Majority of our head of the departments, they are PhD holders. Almost 20 to 25 staff members, they are pursuing their PhD. They have already done their B and ME or MTech, and they are pursuing PhD. And majority of our HODs, head of the departments, are having a degree of PhD. They are publishing papers, they are conducting conferences, they are conducting student welfare programs, they are conducting extracurricular and co-curricular activities. So many things are being done.
Okay.
Minimum package to the student is 2.4 lakhs. And maximum package is 12 lakhs. Yes, there is a very big auditorium in the college. A very big auditorium in the college which can accompany approximately 500 plus students, and a very big stage of approximately 20 to 25 feet, where you can have all your cultural activities, you can have your extracurricular activities, you can have your what we can say small college or division, what you can say department programs, small departmental programs you can have. You can have freshers parties, you can have your send-offs. So many things are being done. Yes, mock test is provided by the college. Yes, you can get scholarship as well as hostel at the same time. Yes, you can get. Only you have to fulfill the documents. You can get scholarship. Suppose you belong to Open and you belong to EBC, say, right? Suppose your income is less than 8 lakh rupees. Then you can go for EBC, economically backward class. You can get 50% waiver in fees. And for Panjabrao Deshmukh, you have to fulfill all the documents. You will get that scholarship as well. There is no compulsion on hostel, and see, hostel facilities are very good. You have a very nice, airy and fresh accommodation. You will get a single bed, you will get a locker, you will get a study table, then all other amenities that is attached, and fan, then curtains, everything you will get. You will get common lobby, you will get hot water. So everything, all the common facilities. We are also trying to give you laundry facilities. So all the common facilities which are available or which are useful for the college students are given for the students. Yes, any other questions? Is it possible to get scholarship later on if we didn't able to mention in registration form? See, if you belong specifically to caste, say SC, ST or NT or OBC, right? You have to mention in the registration only, because your documents are to be verified at the facilitation center, and if you belong to that category, then definitely your seat will be allotted in that category only. So you have to produce all the documents. Only
Sir,
if you belong to open category and if you have income less than 8 lakh, then EBC has to be registered afterwards, after you get the admission. After your admission, you can apply for EBC, not for category. Mess facility is there. We have different 4 to 5 types of canteens available in the campus, and you can definitely have, you can avail those facilities. Students have given 10K fee to hostel last year and they not attend the hostel. They're trying to get their fees back. When they will get? See, you can approach me. You can come to me directly, or you can contact the college office. Definitely, we will sort out the issue. Hostel doesn't provide any mess. The mess is different from hostel. You have to contact the mess and you have to get enrolled there. IT branch is not available in KJ College. We have computer engineering, and that is 120 seats. 120 seats are there. Yes, mess charges are different and they are as per the availability, means what type of food and type of canteen you avail, which canteen you want, it depends on that. Okay, I think what was the merit of CS in last year? See, for CS, the merit was very high last year. For open, the merit was 84 percentile last year. And the second round, the merit increases again, right? So if you want computer science branch, if you want particular branch, then first thing is that you have to put first option of our college in your first round, and immediately you have to freeze it and take admission in the first round. That is the only possibility to get branch. Second round, again, the merit is going increasing. And for JE merit also, JE approximately you should have merit more than 80 plus merit should be there for JE if you belong to open. See, this cutoff depends on round also. First round the cutoff is different, second round the cutoff is different. The cutoff for first round for open is different, SC is different, ST is different, right? So cutoff cannot be defined as generalized, right? It varies from branch to branch, it varies from category to category, and it varies from round to round, right? So the cutoff is different. So if you definitely want to take admission in our college, then in option form, the first option you have to fill as our college. Tick. If you want to go for computer branch, you can go for computer branch, and you have to freeze the admission and you have to take the admission in first round only. First round is the final round, remember. Okay? So thank you very much for listening me patiently. And if you have any doubt, I have given the email ID. You can contact that on that email ID. You can mail me anytime. And if you want to visit our website address is also given. That is www.kjei.edu.in/kjcomr. You can visit anytime. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the way in which you explain engineering admission process and opportunities very nicely and easily, sir. And all the points are covered in your address. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now moving further for the next segment. Today, Professor Raju Singh Rathod, Training and Placement Officer with us, and I am fortunate to introduce him. He did his bachelor in mechanical engineering from College of Engineering, Usmanabad, and post-graduation from Savitribai Phule Pune University, Pune. He is pursuing his PhD from Vishwakarma Institute of Information Technology, Pune. He is a head of Entrepreneurship Development Cell, means EDC, of KJ College. He has also given MPSC and UPSC interview as well as an experience in UPSC and MPSC guidance. He has a wide experience in training and placement field. Now, I would like to request Professor Raju Singh Rathod, sir, to guide our participants. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Uh, my name is Raju Singh Rathod. I am here the training placement officer. Regarding the training placement, it is the main core area in the engineering field because the student is coming to college with the hope of getting the placement in some of the industries, or some have a dream to go for the higher studies, or some have a dream to go for the administrative service. So this is a training placement department play the very important role in the all the activities for the development of the students. As a training placement officer, I want to explain here that there is a lot of the scope for the various branches, just like a computer, mechanical, ENTC, electrical, and civil engineering. So when you see about the scope for the future, so today's scenario, we can say that the computer engineering is there because some automations are there. So there is a lot of the scope for the computer engineering also. So when you see about the data, artificial intelligence, then the data science is there, software development. So when you see about the computer field, these are the scope is available for the student for the future careers. So these are the one area in the private sector. When you see about the government sector, we already know a lot of the things in the government sector, just like a banking area, we see automation is going on, so definitely there is IT engineers is required. So banking sector, there is a scope for the IT engineers. When you see about the any government organization, IT engineer have a huge scope is there. And then technology changes, there is innovation is going on. So these are the area play the various importance. When you see about the mechanical engineer, so definitely as automobile, there is a electrical vehicles are coming, and when you see that there is automation, vehicles are there. So design is one of the area where the lot of the scopes available for the mechanical engineers. When you see about the mechanical engineers, he's a very creative person. He's a very good imaginary. He can design the things and make it in a reality. So these are the one of the area to be make your career in the mechanical engineering. Again, there is a manufacturing area. So definitely, when you want to build a automobile or when you want to machinery, it definitely manufacturing play the big roles. There is a thermal engineering. That is again the one area of the mechanical engineer. And we know the cryogenic engine. We know the heat transfer. So these are the another area, challenging area regarding the heat transfer, thermal energy. That is a scope for the mechanical engineering. So these are the one of the area you make the your career. So when you see about the government sector, there is a some area just like a DRDO, Defense Research Organizations. When you see about the ISRO also, we want to launch the satellite vehicle manufacturing, thermal. So everything where the mechanical engineering play the very big role. So that is one of the area in the government sector. When you see about the engineering sector, some students have a dream to become an executive engineer in the government sector. So in this case, there is a government examination. When you see about the UPSC and the MPSC, so there is a definitely opportunities available for the student to go as engineers, mechanical engineer in the irrigation sectors or various department is available. For this purpose, to select in the government organization, government has conducted some examination under the UPSC and MPSC. So these are the part of the government sector. If you want to go to make career in the research and development, so there is a huge scope is available in the research centers. If you want to make the some dream to become a material science, so there is again the material science is one of the big area to make the research. So there is is a lot of the CSR activities or there is a government is giving the money for the research area in the mechanical sector. So these are the one of the biggest area in the future in current also, and this is the core branch. So mechanical is one of the area for yourself to make your career. When you see about the electrical engineering, so these are the another area to make electrical engineering. So we know that there is an electrician, Mahagenco is there, there's the thermal stations, thermal power stations are there. Electricity is a very big role play in our area. There's like a solar energy, non-conventional source of energy is available. So when electrical engineer play the biggest role in this area. So there is a huge scope in this area, just like electrical engineering, and this is our core branch. And most of the students they opt for this branch also because this is a core area. This is required for all the area in the private sector as well as the government sector. So these are the one of the area for the career making. When you see about the electronics engineer, so electronics engineer, we know that telecommunications are there, and again, this is also we can say that it is a circuit branch. It is a sister branch of the computer and IT also. Those students who want to make the career in the IT sector, definitely most of near about 99% of the industry they can allow this electronic and telecommunication engineering student with the CS and IT to appear for the various placement drives are there. And again, the government sector, satellite, there is various areas. So this also, if you want to make the career in the government sector, then definitely government has taken the lead to conduct the examination through this area in this branch also. So ENTC also various huge scopes are there. When you see about the civil, so but definitely all the students know the civil have a huge scope in the construction area. You can building the big dams are there. And when you see about this civil engineering have a huge scope in the government sector. So most of the MPSC or UPSC, most of the placement just like a job in the government sector is open for the civil engineering. So these are the area we are discuss. Okay, this is the scope for the future for the student to make their careers are there. So as a the training placement department, these are the view scopes. So when the student coming in our college, so they are a raw material. So our duty to make them a finalized product. So in this process, coming to the raw material in our college, it is our duty as a training placement department. It is a duty of the our all the department heads and all the staffs to make this raw material in the finished product. So in this way, we are as a training placement department, as our head of the department, our various department, they make the focus, they try their best to make this student in a technically strong, as well as the company was the specific skills are there in among the students. So we can percolate this skill through the various training we are provided in our college. We are providing the various activities we can run in our college, in our engineering college. So we can build them in a technically sound, as well as we can make the soft skill. We can provide the soft skill to them, so they are able to face any challenge in the placement or in the industry. So these are the basic core area of the training and placement. So as a training placement department, there is a two option: training as well as the placement. So we are providing the training from our uh, college. So these are when you see about the training placement process in the various colleges. So these are the way. So in this case, we can see the first we are providing as a training to the student training program. We are doing the training program in various engineering college. We are doing the counseling, and after base of this counseling, we can understand. We can conduct the employability test, so we can understand what is the student interest lies, where his ability to get the job. So at the base of that, we are doing the employment test. So these are the things is happening here. Then the company is coming, before company coming, so we can do that just like a pre-placement session we are conducted as per the company requirement. So these are the student can be familiar with the recruiters, what is the recruit expected from the student, so we can do that session. Then again, then company do their actual placement, and once placement is going on, there is a various stages of the placement, and those are selected student, company provide them offer. So these are the way the training placement department can be done in various colleges, just like our college. Uh, Again, when you discuss as a training placement department, that is a scenario. We are taking here the pre-placement training just like a employability assessment test, because here what happened is students are there definitely, so they know what is their ability, what is they are lacking. So in this case, we are providing this training, aptitude training. Definitely, college provided, because aptitude is a core basic thing to enter in the placement activities. So training is going on at the second year, first year, third year. All the activities is going on the college level. Substitute training is provided. We are here. Mock discussion, mock group discussion, then the personal interview sessions are going on, and we are hired the external guest is coming. Then the guest from the industry, they can give their guidance. What is the expectation of the industry? So these are the things happen in the various colleges are in the here also in under the training placement department. We are running the workshop process. So that is the basic thing regarding the training placement activities. So one question I saw there, okay, what is the internship program whether provided or not? So definitely from our internship, our train to the students start from the first year. So first year is one of the basic area. Then second year we do the soft skill. Third year we can do the technical certification. At the same time, we are providing the internship in the third year, and final in B, aptitude training as well as the intro technique is provided. And definitely companies coming, students to sit in the placement, and after they are going to be placed in the company. These are the certain processes going on under the training placement. Uh, these are the different training placement activities going on in the colleges. So these are the biggest area. So these are the what I'm talking about. The training placement is play the very biggest important roles in the companies. Training is provided to train the student, and we can going to place the student in the various area. And to train the student, we what we are doing, we are doing the some MOU. We can sign up with the MOU with the some there is a MOU with the GTT training, then the Genser training program, Genser, Persistent, IBM, and some various things. So this activities is run in the college level. So these are the some picture I show you, okay, how the gate preparation training is going on. There is a Genser ESD training program, because MOU with the Gensers are there, gate preparations are there, Windsor technology. So these are the activities we can run in our college. And when you see about the so what happened, the student is going to train in various field. The MOU signed by our colleges to train the student to various technology which is available. Next. So these are again as a training placement, entrepreneurship development sales. This is the one of the area, because most of the students have idea, and to keep to put that idea, make it in a reality. So there is a entrepreneurship development sale is available. Helps this student to create to enhance his ability to make his idea into the reality. So whatever the help is required, that is provided by the government. That is provided by the college, and all the trainers are coming. Many trainers are coming to enhance this ability in the students. So entrepreneurship awareness camp is, because last year we have conducted the one camp, such a camp, and all is funded by the government of India under DST, the Department of Science and Technology. So this is the one of the another area of the career, those who make the startup is business. So so these are the area. So when we see the placement, so last year we can see that before the COVID situation, all the placement activities run at various colleges in an offline basis. But because of the COVID situation, most of the placement is going on online. So online placement, this is one of the offline. I show the picture. There is a first offline placement conducted in our college in Tangle Lab is there. So offline and online, that placement is going on because of the COVID situation. But when the college is started, all the placement is going on offline are there. So various companies they visited in colleges regarding the training placement. We have a contact with the HR. They come and they can judge the ability of the student at the base of the some training placement activities, aptitude trainings are there. So as per their job description, they can provide. These are the activities run in the various colleges. Most of the various companies are coming in the college for the placement. Again, as a training placement, we are continuously working for the placement of the student, and future scope is there. Okay, what is our next year month is, so we are planned, next month is planned. So at the base of future plan, we can make today, and on the basis of the placement activities run in a various placement activities. So these are the role of the training placement department. As per as the many question asking about the placement, what is the highest package you are getting in your college? So last year the near about 12 lakh per annum is gained by the our student, and this year also 10 lakh. The current year 222 batch, the 10 lakh is going for the one student. So there is a average package we are providing more than the 4 lakhs are there. So most of the students who are placed in the TCS, Intangle, Infosys are there, Atos Global. So there is a huge opportunities available in the placement activities at the college level. So this is a part of the training placement. So we can train the student, we can find out their ability, and it is our duty to place the student in a various activities. So these are the area of the training and placement department. Again, we have a very big company, reputed companies are there. We are visit that company and they can hire our students. So these are the some of the company I show in here. So this is the areas. So these are the regarding the training placement departments. So, so any have a question regarding the training placement? You can be ask me. Yes, ma'am.
What are the best job opportunities for mechanical engineers?
Regarding the mechanical engineer, we can know that there is a design area, thermal area. So this is the area of the job opportunities. But when you see about the mechanical engineer, is a very creative person, because when you see about the any IT companies, so most of the now, because the 20-year back, those are mechanical engineer. They set it a very higher level because they of this creativity. So mechanical engineer plays in all the area of the job. So what happened? TCS or the Infosys, they can allow the all the branches student to come and sit for the IT sector also. So there is a no branch specific placement. So these are the area. So in design, there is a German companies are there. German companies we can go for the design. This is the one of the best design. Somebody go for the thermal, Israel, Diado. That is also one of the area. So many companies, just like a global companies coming, they're asking for the student, and the basis of their requirement, student are going to be appear for their placement. So last year, now the Franklin is coming here, so they are provided near about 6 lakh per annum for the mechanical student with the accommodation, all the facilities. So it is depend upon student caliber to grab the big job or higher job in the mechanical engineering. So mechanical engineering have a always go for the futures are there.
Okay, sir. Next question. Are civil engineers in demand?
Definitely, because we know that. So, civil engineering always demand is there, because we know the construction industry, that is a huge scope is going on. So civil engineering is a demand in the all the area. Construction, road, there is a lot of the government sector is open for the roads are there, because the ministry is focusing on the road and construction and infrastructure. So definitely computer engineer has a huge scope in this area. Again, the computer, civil engineering. So civil engineering. Oh, okay, एक minute. So civil engineering also when you hello, civil engineering also scope for the government sector, because a lot of the government sector job is available for the civil engineering when they open the job prospects. So we can say hello, hello. So civil engineering is a huge scope in the infrastructure and the government sector also.
Okay. What are the opportunities for electrical branch?
Regarding the electrical branch, this is the basic branch, and this is the most important branch in the placement. So when you see about the thermal power stations are there, then the electricity, Mahagenco. When you see of the recruitment in the Mahagenco, for example, government sector, only the electrical power and electrical engineer is allowed to fill the forms are there. Those goes for the Mahagen, Maharashtra transmission, generations are there, and then the distributions are there. So that is the scope in the government sector. In private sector also, we already familiar with that. In last week, near about the 8 students they are placed in the Dhut transmission. So this area, those companies who are making the transmission or electric products are there. So they have a scope for this electrical engineer in this area. In the again the central government, they have a huge scope for the electrical engineers, and all the companies, because this is a core branch, so all the companies they can select the electrical engineer. We can take the manufacturing industries are there, mechanical industries are there. The always electrical engineer is required there. So there is a again I say electrical engineer have a scope in the private sector as well as the government sectors are there.
Hello, see, if you compare
Okay,
other
sir.
branches, if you compare other branches in electrical.
Yes, any question?
Hello.
Last wicket, last.
Any question?
Hello. Hello.
Thank you, sir, for sharing details of training and placement very properly and systematically. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, next segment, moving further for the last segment, I request Professor Asha Jadhav, ma'am, to propose a vote of thanks. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon to one and all present here, principal, all heads of department, and all dear participants. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this webinar, Engineering Admission and Opportunities in Engineering, on behalf of KJ College of Engineering and Management Research, Pune.
24.
I would like to thank our Honorable Principal, Dr. Suhas Ghosh, sir, giving his valuable time for us. Sir explained admission process very nice way. Sir also explained why engineering, how to choose our interested branch. Also, sir give the information about various scholarships and the internship of our college. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your great support and valuable guidance. Further, I would like to thank Professor Rathod, sir, Training and Placement Officer, KJ College of Engineering and Management Research, giving information about placement, scope of every branch, opportunities in government sector, and research. Also, the activities run by Training and Placement, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable information, which is useful to our students. Thank you, sir. I must thank the organizing team members, and not but least, I must thank you all the participants for their active participation. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Okay, so if you have any question, you can ask, or we can stop here. And one more thing, feedback link share in this in the chat box. All of you, please give the feedback.